Everyone, this is Tammy from Tammy Colors 2, and today I am starting a new video series. I have these fabulous books from Racine that I purchased um, here and there as they came out, and I thought I want to do a video series and learn about, I don't know, geography. I guess you call this geography. um, different places again around the planet. So I thought, um, let's pick places and I can learn about them and we can color the maps. And if you've never seen the books, they're like this. Like this is the United States, so these are all states. So she puts the state birds and flowers and different, the state mammals in here. For Europe, Europe is different countries. So she puts information about those. And I thought I could, go to the different places. We could color it in. I could talk about what's interesting to see there, population, things like that. Am I a geography major? No. So I intend to do the best I can, being that I haven't been to the majority of these places. Excuse me. So, I think it'll be fun and it'll take us a while. There's a lot of material here. Maybe she could slow down on these for a while. So, the United States, I decided I'm going to start with Ohio, which is where I live and that's where I'm from. Um, and that will give me a good starting point on what I want to talk about and how to search for things. I mean, in the United States, for me, it'll be easy. Um, it's just when I get to other countries, it'll be like, well, do they have information available? So, but I intend on compiling whatever I can, and I'm going to put pictures in the video. So this is my experiment to see how all that works, to see how much I can fit in and what we want to talk about and how we want to color it. I'm just going to use alcohol marker. I had so much fun doing my Time for a Cup of Tea series where I talked about the tea. I drank the tea. We colored the page. That was another book of Jen Racine's, and I thought it was fabulous. So yeah, let's do that. And I think after this, I will either. I think I'm gonna put them in like a spinner or a random. Maybe I should just get like a box and write them all on slips of paper and just put them in, and just pull them out. Who are we drawing today? I mean, that might actually be more exciting than a spinner, so I don't know. Let me know what you think. I just thought it would be fun to jump around rather than to stay in one place. Just don't do one book, just do something random out of all the books here and there. So that's my plan. Join me. It will be a good time. Um, I have to decide on a frequency also. So obviously there's a lot of stuff here. So I kind of want it to be fairly often. Um, maybe twice a month. We can go for twice a month. Um, but I'll have to see how that works out. I'm sure that I can get fairly efficient at doing these. They shouldn't be hard to color. I did pick out some pictures for this, and I have a huge list. I've got kind of an itinerary in the video so that I can find spots in order to insert pictures that I've promised you. And I may have to make notes as I go along so I don't forget to put a picture there, but I intend on putting pictures in here where I can, where I can find where would be appropriate. So, and I'm also using my microphone, so we will see. If that wears out, then I'm going to be really pissed. if it if it's all charged up, so it should work. I just don't want to get quiet, and I'm afraid I get quiet. So Um, let's pulled out some markers. I need my list. Let me put that over here. I thought I was set up. Let me put this here. Because I'm good and I did grow up here in Ohio and I do live here, but it is what it is. I can't remember everything. And even I haven't been everywhere. Actually, there's some places on my list that my husband and I still need to go. So, and I can show you some things on the tablet too, which I kind of intend to do. So, and let me know, do all of you have these books? Or is this interesting? I just think I personally think it's fun. And, I may do national parks. She has national parks books, so we may have to visit the national parks also, because I have a lot of national parks books. I kind of collect all of the national parks books um, for the United States. She does have one for Canada also, which might be interesting. I'll have to look into that. Okay, so introduction over. I'm just going to be using my Arteza alcohol markers because I'm trying to use those up. So hopefully this will not take long. And then I should have pulled some greens. There may be some pausing to pull some markers. But for now, we're going to start with the deer. And I'll show you things and we'll see how Tammy does talking and coloring. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I color kind of like this. Hopefully that's not too annoying. And we'll start with the deer and see where we get. Okay, so I pulled out some brown colors because I looked at a white-tailed deer, which is what this is. Put my blotter sheet in, which is also very important. And I really need to break this spine. Okay. I have not colored anything, but that's also in any of these books. So that's why I'm doing this, so we can learn things and we can color. And if you just want to color something else and listen to me talk, that's fine too. All right, around the world with Jen Racine. This is Ohio. So Ohio is a state in the United States. It was admitted to the Union on March 1st, 1803. And it is the 17th state that was admitted to the Union. Its capital is Columbus, Ohio. However, the first capital was Chillicothe, which is, Columbus is right here. So Chillicothe is about right here. I'm trying to remember if white-tailed deer have what am I thinking of? I can't remember if they have a white chest or not. I don't think so. I'm gonna layer some color on here. I may have to I'm the type of person who has to have a reference. So we're gonna look at white. Got my tablet here. Just so I can see what a white-tailed deer looks like. And they do have some white. They typically have some white on their nose or around their nose. But I'm going to darken these colors also. So the population of Ohio is approximately 11.8 million. 11.8 million people live in the state of Ohio. I don't remember how big it is. It takes about, from north to south, let's see, if it takes me 2 hours to get to Portsmouth from here, which is the bottom of the state, it takes about 2 to 2.5 hours. So I would say in between 4 and 5 hours, you could drive from the bottom of the state to the top. Um, Probably this way. And then it's about the same if you go across the middle lengthways. It's really relatively the same length up and down. Um, so it would not take you long. Forget what country it's about the size of. Because I think Germany is about the size of Texas, and Texas is a very large state. So I really should be doing this with a large end. All right. So what do we have here in Ohio? Um, Ohio is as far as things to see and historical places. We had a lot of Hopewell Indians living here. The Hopewell culture, which is a couple thousand years old, I believe, if I remember correctly. And they have left mounds here. So you'll find effigy mounds, burial mounds, and they are all protected by parks. And I mean, they're everywhere. They're out in the country, and there's one like in Chillicothe in the middle of the neighborhood. I was reminded the other day, actually, it so happens, um, because I was driving from a concert that I played in, and I was driving back through to get back on the highway, and I was going through a neighborhood, and there's a mound. I think it's called Mound City Park. I can't remember now, but there's a mound in the middle of a neighborhood, and it's a little park. I mean, a little park, and it's surrounded by houses. So it's just kind of in the middle of there, which is neat. Um, and all of as many mounds as you can. There's one in uh out in Bainbridge, which is just outside of um Chillicothe. That mound is huge. It's called Sipe, Seip, Sipe Mound. And you can run up it, you know what I mean? I think because it wasn't a burial or, it was just a mound, they didn't feel the need to protect it as much. So you can go climbing around on it. It's kind of nice. When I was a kid, we did all the time. All right, I think I've almost got my deer done. So, fun fact, um, Ohio has something called Serpent Mound, and I'll put a picture in. I'll also try to put some pictures before, which you would have seen them by now, of the mounds here in Ohio. We also have earthworks, also everywhere. It's a big thing. Ancient earthworks from ancient peoples, um, and it's really cool. I mean, they're UNESCO sites basically. So if you ever come over here, you can check them out. So I don't know how I'm going to do with this deer. We'll see. I need to put some brown. I'm going in with a kind of a different brown here because their coat is darker usually on top. It's kind of splotchy. So we have something in southern Ohio called Serpent Mound, and It was actually very close to where I grew up. But if you didn't know it was there, you'd probably never find it. I mean, it is a park, but it's out in the country. I mean, it's out in the trees, and it is the largest serpent effigy in the world. If you didn't know, and it is about 1,300 feet or 411 meters in length. It's kind of large. It looks like a snake trying to swallow an egg, is what it looks like. They don't know what it was for, really. Um, there's nothing buried in it. I can't remember that. I know there's no people, there's no remains buried in it. Um, but they're not they're not quite sure what it was for. But it is the largest serpent effigy in the world, which is very cool that we get that designation. Um, and like I said, I put some pictures in of it. There's a tower. When you go see it, you can tell what it is. Like if you're standing next to it, you can tell um, that it's a snake. It's huge, don't get me wrong. Um, but there's a tower there on site that you can climb up and look at it from above so you can see it better. I forgot I don't necessarily like the way these blend, but that's okay. We will be fine. And I don't really like the color that I picked here for the dark. But we'll see if we can fix. I think I picked too red of a color. So besides mounds, what do we have? We have 10 national parks here in Ohio. There's Cuyahoga Valley, which is um, Ohio's only national park. The rest of them are all like sites, if that makes sense. Because a park is like a park. Um, then we have other things like presidents' homes and things like that. So Cuyahoga Valley National Park is 33,000 acres and a 22-mile stretch of the Cuyahoga River. And it's very beautiful. There's a waterfall. I've been there. And then the rest are all places like the Dayton Aviation Heritage National Historical Park, because of Orville and Wilbur Wright, as well as Paul Laurence Dunbar. There's a lot of things in Dayton. The Air and Space Museum in Dayton is amazing if you've never been there. Dayton, Ohio. There's the First Lady's National Historic Site, which is in up close to Cleveland. It's in oh gosh, where was it? It's in Canton. That's right. Um, I am not making this better. Then we have the Charles Young Buffalo Soldier National Monument, commemorating the achievements of the Buffalo Soldiers, which was a unit of African American soldiers in the U.S. Army, which is very cool. It's a house. We actually went there last year. It's close to Dayton. It's between Columbus and Dayton. We have the Hopewell National Historic Park, obviously with the mountains. That's in Chillicothe. We have the James A. Garfield National Historic Site, which Garfield was a former president. And that's located in Mentor, which is up close to Cleveland. Everybody knows, if you're talking to Cleveland, because Cleveland is up here. Columbus is here. Cleveland is up here along the lake. Toledo is right here. So a lot of stuff is up near Cleveland. We have the North Country National Scenic Trail, which is a a multi-state trail that just runs through Ohio. I don't really know where that one is in the state. We have the Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail, which is a portion of the trail that runs, because Lewis and Clark were explorers that helped map out the country. And then it went exploring. Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial, which is also right up here. It commemorates the Battle of Lake Erie during the War of 1812. This is Lake Erie right here. Ohio is also a state that borders the Great Lakes. And then William Howard Taft National Historic Site has a home of William Howard Taft, and that's in Cincinnati, which is like right here, down at the bottom of the state. So there are a lot of cool. The Charles Young Buffalo Soldier place is like right about here. There's a lot of cool things here in the state of Ohio. So I'm talking and not coloring. So we'll see how we can make this deer come out. I don't know. I have some dark colors that I think will work. Now whether I end up liking it or not, we'll see. All right, so I apologize. I had to start over. I was going to color this ladybug, which the ladybug is the state insect, but I have like a whole list of things that I'll go over in a little bit. Let's see. So I did the park sites. Oh yeah, we have the Halls of Fame. I don't know if in other parts of the world they do Halls of Fame like we do in America, but we have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is probably the most famous, is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that is on the lake in Cleveland. It's right up in here. Everything is in Cleveland or Canton. Oh boy. So yeah, Canton is where the Professional Football Hall of Fame is, which is in Canton, which is just a little south of Cleveland. Color this ladybug's face in. There we go. So then we've got our Halls of Fame also, besides the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Professional Football Hall of Fame. And I did mean American football, not soccer. But so we also have the National Aviation Hall of Fame, which is in Dayton. And then we have a Cincinnati Reds Baseball Hall of Fame. So Cincinnati Reds are a team, baseball team, rather famous baseball team in Ohio, at least if you're from Ohio. So they have a Hall of Fame down there in Cincinnati here for them. There's a lot of cool things in Cincinnati too. Apparently there's just nothing. I'm teasing. There's plenty of cool things here in the middle of the state. Like the parks and things. So also, like, if you didn't know, a lot of people that come down through Michigan, or anybody who comes across this way, because when you start here in the United States and you go this way, it gets very flat. Indiana is flat. The Midwest is typically very flat. The East and South is very hilly and mountainy, and Ohio is kind of like the midway between there. Anybody who drives up this way is going to think Ohio is flat because it's divided this way. Up here is flat. Down this way is all hills. I won't say mountains because we don't really have mountains. We have hills, but um, that's kind of how it is. So if you drive through Ohio and you think it's flat, you're just driving through the wrong part. I grew up in a valley in the middle of hills, like my hometown. Oh, let's see. Waverly is about here. It's not very far. It's only about 27 miles from Kentucky, which is this state right here. Um, so I grew up in a valley. I mean, with hills all around. So, but yeah, it kind of starts here and goes like this, thereabouts. Um, let's see, I did the ladybug and I have to do a cardinal, but I'm gonna have to pick some other colors for the cardinal because he can't just be red. There's a couple of different colors if I want to highlight them. And then the carnations are red. You're getting an idea of theme here with the cardinal. So I did R33. I don't know if I want to go with this one. Yeah, that'll work, I think. We can do some lighter colors. Do I want that one? Maybe this one? Sorry, pulling colors here. We'll just go with these. It'll be fine. And then I need a color for the beak, which is normally like a yellowy orange color, and I don't want it to be too dark. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. I don't know if you can hear the siren. We call it the air raid sirens, but in Ohio, every Wednesday at noon, the tornado sirens are tested because we get tornadoes here. So let's see. All right, now let's get back to coloring this. So I'm going to try to do my cardinal. I'm going to do his beak first. Is he even in frame? Yes. Okay. So we have a lot of aviation. You know, it's called, Ohio is known as the birthplace of aviation, but I think I'm going to get to that when I get to the nicknames and different things that I can show you. I'm trying to remember. I need to look at a redbird, apparently. Or a cardinal. Just so I can, oh, that's right, this is black. So I had a dark gray. Is this dark enough? Yeah, it'll work. Yeah, it turns out a disturbing number of things here in Ohio are red. I mean, like the ladybug is our state insect. Our state flower is the red carnation. Um, the state bird is the cardinal, which is red, except for the females. But even the females are really pretty. They're like a tannish, brownish red. I'll put a picture in here if you haven't seen them. I know that cardinals are known to a lot of the world, it seems. Like, it's a very iconic bird. So we are going to kind of put some lighter color in here. Doing some marker blending today, I think. Put some darker up in here. Maybe a little pink-ish. Just a hair. To kind of highlight him. I didn't really have a plan going forward. And I may have to darken some parts. but we'll see. So, you know, that tells me that maybe I should plan out how I thought I had it planned, like what I was going to talk about when, but, you know, it's hard to keep up with when you talk about things and, yeah. And I think I need to make more of the wing this, not this color, this color. That's okay. All right, so then we can bring a little bit of that up here. All right, you know, and I may choose to color over some of the colors that I put in, so we'll see. I'm trying to get this done pretty quickly so that I can blend in my markers, but I'm gonna go a little farther down here. And then I think I'm going to go that way, take this pink color, kind of blend it out a little bit. Ta-da! Not bad. I need to get a little darker here, which I don't know if anybody's ever done tip to tip, where you, I have to hold it the other way, take your color that you want to put the color on and you hold them basically like this, touch the tips for a little bit and it will pick up the color. Now these are really thin bullet nibs, so I don't expect them to pick up a ton of color, but then you can see how it picks up the marker color and eventually it kind of runs out, but it'll allow you to blend like a lighter color and it looks really nice. Ta-da! I haven't seen anybody do tip to tip for a while. All right, then I gotta figure out how I'm doing the rest of them. I think what I'm gonna do is do some pink really quick. I need to blend this out fairly quickly or I'm gonna get some lines. So I want to do that before I start talking again, because after all, we can pause the learning for coloring, right? Because this is coloring channel. All right. Let's get my dark red, darker red, and kind of put some of that in there like this. And some of this here. Right. Bring some down here. And then a little more. Yeah. I don't like the way that's looking right there, but now, okay. Now we'll take the pink color and try to blend it forward, which you can do. Otherwise, I'll do some more tip to tip if I don't think it looks right, but usually I can blend it in fairly well. Let's see. So where was I? Oh, the presidents. So, the United States has presidents, and we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, technically 8 of the US presidents. I think of the 54 presidents the United States has had so far in its, after it was created. The, you know, 1, 2, what did I say? 9 presidents have come from Ohio. Um, I think one's kind of a mulligan, to be fair, because I think this, because the tail of the cardinal is, and I'm gonna have to do something with their wing, with the wings here, because the wings are kind of like red. So we're gonna put some streaks of color. They're kind of brown-ish. So we're gonna add some of this. We're gonna put this in like this. See how this comes out. I'm gonna take this light pinky color and go back over the whole thing like so, and see if we can blend it out to make it look better. I could have placed some of my colors a little better, to be honest, but not bad. It's not bad at all. I can fix it. With a little pinky right here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I can always put some pencil in there. And then his tail is dark. So we're gonna go with a, oops, wrong. We're gonna go with a dark red, and then I think I'm gonna have to put some black or brown or dark gray pencil shading on it if I want. I may have to go and darken this just a hair, we'll see. But there's my cardinal. I need to do his feet, which are they gray? I mean, I know we always think that birds' feet are, no, they're like an orange. What did I use for his beak? I used this one, cream pearl, I think. Yep. So their feet are, and they have little black claws. All right, so now we got the cardinal done. I should be okay with the carnations. Lots of things are red. We're going to be a lot of red and blue in this picture. And I need some green. I want to put trees. I need to pick some greens for the trees. I'll do that if I have to pause later, because I need to pick some green for these stems for the carnation also. So the 9 presidents that were from Ohio: Ulysses S. Grant, who was born in Point Pleasant, or his boyhood home, his birthplace, his boyhood home, and his schoolhouse are located in Point Pleasant, Ohio, and Georgetown. And I'm trying to remember where those are. Hang on. I know where where's Point Pleasant, Ohio? Let me look here. Show me. Oh yeah, it's basically along the river. It's like right here. It's about right there. So it's close to Cincinnati, basically. Which explains why it's Georgetown sounded familiar, because I think Georgetown is a place in Washington, D.C. also, and a college, but it is also a town in Ohio, which should be, I think, is close. I should have looked this up earlier. Yeah, it's like it's like if Point Pleasant's here, then Georgetown is over here. So they're very close together. They're just in different counties, I think, possibly. But anyway, so you've got Ulysses S. Grant, you've got Rutherford B. Hayes, which was born in Delaware, which is just north of Columbus. You've got James A. Garfield. Oh, and I was going to give you the dates, darn it. So Ulysses S. Grant was president from 1869 to 1877. Rutherford B. Hayes, who was born in Delaware, which is just north of Columbus, was a president from 1877 to 1881. James A. Garfield, who was born in Orange Township or Moreland Hills. His National Historic Site is located in Mentor, which is up here because we have to go there to get our National Park stamp that we need for our book. And then he was president in 1881. He was elected president in 1881, and then in July of 1881 he was shot, and he got an infection from that, and he died in September. So he wasn't even president for a year. Then you've got Benjamin Harrison, who was president from 1889 to 1893. William McKinley, who was born in Niles. His memorial museum was in Niles, and he was president from 1897 to 1901. You got Howard Taft, or William Howard Taft, born in Cincinnati. And he has a house that we visited last year that's in Cincinnati. It's very cool. He was president from 1909 to 1913. A very intriguing man, William Howard Taft. He's a cool one to look up the history of. He did a lot of things. Warren G. Harding, who was born in Corsica, or now Blooming Grove, was the president from 1921 to 1923. And his place is in Marion, which is just north of Columbus, also probably about here in the center. And then we claim William Henry Harrison, apparently, who was born in Virginia but settled in Ohio, and he was president in 1841. So I don't know why we claim William Henry Harrison necessarily, but anyway. So there's a little bit of history there. I'm going to do these carnations. And then I'm starving, so I'm going to have to go eat something because I'm starving. I was trying to get some of this done, and I may have to continue on with it later. Oh man, I made a doppy. I'm gonna take this colorless blender and I'm gonna paint the state probably blue, so that shouldn't matter if I get it. I need to take a minute. I need to pick some greens. I need to go eat some food. Find whatever other colors I need that are not red or blue, apparently. An unbloomed carnation. All right, there's that. So we got the carnations. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, now let's see where we are. I got some green, and I'm going to use green on my stems down here, and then we'll talk about a few other things with the state of Ohio while we're doing this. But the first thing I want to show you is, because I need to show you, you may or may not have seen the Great Seal of Ohio, which is like Ohio's coat of arms. And if I can manage to show this on my tablet, it looks like this. And the inspiration for the view was, if I can get it back here, I had it in here. This is at the Adena State Memorial, and it's the Ohio mountains. This is in Chillicothe, Ohio. It's an overlook at the Adena historical site. You go up on the hill, and the Worthington House is up there, and that's the only thing that's up there other than a visitor center and a caretaker's house. So this is all devoted, all the land up here where you're actually standing at this photo is devoted to the state, the Worthington House. So it looks out, they say that they got the inspiration for the Seal of Ohio by looking out over the mountains of majesty. And that's, you know, obviously it looks different now than it did back then, but you know, if you go back to here, you can kind of see the mountains, the hay fields. That's, you know, that's our seal. So it's the, you know, they had a different one originally, I think. All right, so now that I've showed you that, we can come back to doing this carnation here. I need to get this done because I need to go make dinner and get some other things done. So the state motto is, "With God, all things are possible," which is from Matthew 19, chapter 19, verse 26. It became Ohio's motto in October 1959. Its use as a state motto is not intended to endorse a specific deity, but instead stands as a generic expression of optimism. So let's see. The state slogan is "Ohio, the heart of it all," because it looks like a heart. So we are like a giant heart shape. So I guess the question is, should I color the whole picture before the end of the video, or just stop where I am, wherever I stop talking, and then finish it and show you what it looks like? That's always the tough decision. We gotta map out these videos, man. All right, so there's my light colors. My light color, and then I'm gonna put a little bit darker color on some of it. Maybe here. You know, just to give it a little shading. Like that. And then here, we'll just make that whole leaf green, or dark green, because I missed it. We'll go up the sides a little bit where the shading is. And look at that. I'll put that in there. All right, so back to talking about the state of Ohio. And it's like trying to walk and chew bubblegum sometimes, talking. And then I have a really dark green, which I can put down here. I don't want to use it too much. Just a little here and there to kind of give it some definition. All right. Do I need to do anything else? Maybe. Let's see. Let's go back over some of that with a really light green to kind of spread it out a skosh. And then we'll talk about our great state of Ohio. Yeah, if you're from the South, you say Ohio. Anyway, So we're the heart of it all, and we are in the Midwest, so we're considered to be a strategic position for shipping and things like that. Color in all these little trees now that I have some green, and then I've got to color the hooves of the deer. The state nickname, let's see. Our state capitol building is in Columbus, Ohio, because Columbus is the capital. The state nickname is the Buckeye State, and it is named as such because of a tree called the Buckeye tree, which bears these nuts that are called buckeyes, and they are poisonous, so they are not edible. And to be honest, if you know, I've got some, I'll have to go pull one out and show it to you if you've never seen one before. But you would think it was turned wood because that's the way they look. But I have a picture of the tree, has like these types of leaves, and then these are the nuts. I don't know, something must eat them, you know. You would think. Let's see, am I in frame? Let me pull this up just a hair. All right. Color in all these little trees. I probably should make these big ones different color, but we'll see. Just make sure I get them all. I thought I had a gray marker. Well, yeah, we can use this one because I need to color. It's like a dark gray. I'm just using it to color the hooves and the nose, because the nose is black. I need to get something for the inside of the ears, but we can do that later. And I need to, now that the ladybug face is dry, I can add a little more and shade there. All right. Oh, missed some trees up in here. We can see those. All right, now the grass. Maybe I'll do the grass like this, and maybe put some darker color in it. See, I can't color and talk at the same time. I get too distracted. We'll put a little extra. We'll do a little extra in the center of this one, see how that comes out. Maybe we'll do a little extra in the center of more than one. Let's see how it looks. Let's see. Just kind of feather it out like that. I always like how it spreads it out. I always say I'm gonna go use pencil, and then I never do. Like, you know, to shade and stuff, because I love shading with marker. Now, this may not be the best idea that I ever had right here, but it'll look better when I get the state of Ohio colored. I should have done it different because these are small and the marker is going to spread too much. All right, that's not bad. You know, we are going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. I think the trees are growing while I'm doing this. All right, so we have the Buckeye tree, so it's named the Buckeye State. Then we have our animals, which are our cardinal, of course, the white-tailed deer. we also have a reptile, which is the black racer snake. I can put a picture of it in here. A salamander is the amphibian. I had no idea we had all these. The American bullfrog is our amphibian, apparently. And then our pet is the shelter pet. So, you know, adopt a dog or a cat or something else instead of shelter. So for flowers, we obviously have red carnations. I'm going to do the lake up here. We have the red carnations. What else? The buckeye we already talked about. Our wildflower is called white trillium, which I think I've seen. Give me a second to... I can put a picture of it in here while I'm coloring this. So it's like it's a beautiful, it's just a little white 3-leaved flower. Let's see if I can... I don't know what color to make the border. That'll be interesting. These pictures actually go so fast once you start doing them. I mean, all of her pictures are like that. I'll look at them and go, oh, that's going to take me a while. And you just start on it and it just gets done. And it's so easy. Now I'm probably going to make these waves white, maybe, I'm guessing. Hopefully I remembered to put in some pictures of like Old Man's Cave and the Cuyahoga Falls and stuff like that. Because that's what I intended to do when I was talking about them earlier. So me, you better remember that. Oh yeah, and I said I needed to do something with the deer, like his ears. But I need something really light. So I'm gonna see if this pencil will work. And what do you know? There, that works. I'm like, ta-da! I have a bad habit of just grabbing whatever's on my table or whatever to use. Let's see, can we use this brown for the twig? Why not? I have to actually put it up here so you can see it. And then I gotta do the claws. And then we are really almost done. I'm not sure I have a whole lot left to talk about anyway. So I think that was just about right. I gotta color the bird claws. I'm trying to get better about using colors I have instead of grabbing new colors, you know what I mean? If you're like me and you have to color everything like a different color. So I think now all I have left is the big parts. So I pulled, well, and I have to do the Ohio. And so based on our logo that you see like on our state motto, right? So we have, we do everything like red, white, and blue. So that's what I'm going to do. I think this is going to be blue. I think the Ohio is going to be blue, and then the background is going to be red. And we'll do it that way because that's usually how it's done. And I can talk about the last couple of things that I found, I think. Oh, and I can show you, like, this is the trillium, white trillium. also known as the wake robin or snow trillium. Grows in 88 Ohio counties, so it grows in all of our counties because we do have 88 counties. Shady or mostly shady environments. Those are pretty. I might have to get some. There's a a nursery that sells native indigenous plants. So I think I pulled this out because it's a nice color. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to use this. So our fruit is the tomato. And here where I live, we have a tomato festival, right? Because in 1870, Alexander Livingston was accredited with perfecting the modern tomato. I mean, it's not like he invented the tomato, but apparently he grew tomatoes and developed 30 different varieties. So apparently one of them was popular, or some of them were popular, and they became the tomatoes that we know today. But that's also why you can get heirloom tomatoes too, you know. If you've ever delved into heirloom tomatoes. So we're going to color our Ohio. And an interesting fruit that I didn't know about until maybe about a year or two ago, probably because I wasn't, I was raised in the city. Like our house that I grew up in was in town. So I didn't have woods. I guess I could have gone a couple blocks back and probably found some woods, but I never did. So, but the fruit is called the pawpaw. And I suppose I should show it to you. P-A-W-P-A-W, pawpaw. And it's the only edible fruit that is native to Ohio. What does it taste like? As far back as the 1500s, Native Americans in the Ohio Valley used tree fruit for food and trade. It grows 2 to 4 inches in length and can be green, yellow, or brown depending on the ripeness. It looks like a short, fat banana, which is true. What does it taste like? It tastes like a cross between a banana and a mango. So I wonder if I should find one, maybe plant myself a pawpaw tree. And there's all kinds of them in wooded areas around. So they are not hard to find. And then I'm gonna do, hopefully this one's dark enough. I might need a darker. I might need a darker blue. I'm too good at picking colors sometimes, Yep, these go together. They're too close. So I don't know, y'all have to tell me, like, where you are. Do you have any cool indigenous fruits? Do you know about them? Sometimes, we grow up and we don't even know about the things around us. So I always encourage people to, learn about your history, learn about, learn about the history of your environment. Of course, if you're not into that, that's fine. You don't have to. But then I guess if you weren't, you wouldn't be here curious. At least I'm assuming. I mean, some people might be here just because it's a coloring video and I'm coloring. And they don't really care what the content is, which is fine also. I hope this works out. I'm going to have to turn it a little bit, or it's going to look weird. We'll see. But I figured I'll color this. And then look, my marker won't run out. Because the reason I'm using these is because they're close to running out. But I do have spares. I just don't know if I have this particular one in a spare, but it should get me through this if I switch ends. I don't think it'll be terrible. Maybe by the time we get through these books, I will have used these markers up and be on to something else. It's not that I don't like them. I actually like them a lot, but they're a little bit difficult and expensive to replace. And, you know, really, I would like to have a marker that I can refill. Which is not, you know, all that easy to get a hold of. See, I knew it would make it. It's just a little dry, but that's okay. We're using it up. Okay. So now I'm probably going to leave this Columbus blank. So now I'm going to go through and color the state of Ohio. And then I'll probably color the surrounding states gray, you know, because I want the state to stand out. And I'm going to color Ohio blue. And I think it's going to be this. It's going to be a lighter blue. Like probably this one. That way it doesn't, you know. Or I could do it the middle blue. That's a tough choice. But anyway, let me finish it and then I will come back and show you what it looks like. So big reveal. Ta-da! I'm happy with a lot of the elements, but I think I could have picked better colors. So, but this gave me insight into what I want to do in the future. I'm going to look at a map of the United States, which is what I should have done, and maybe go with the pastels that it uses, because I know they all use like pastel colors, because I don't really like how the grays, I was trying to use different colors of grays, and I don't really like how it came out, and it doesn't really help that my marker was running out, but, you know, for first time coloring in one of these, I'm happy with it. So we can only do better, right? Well, it's not true. We can do worse. So for the next video, I don't have time right now because I'm going to be very busy in the next week and a half. So I don't have time to set up a system to pull one by random at the moment. Because I chose to start this at a very inopportune moment in my life where I have to do a lot of things. So I am going to pick another one based on something else. And we wanted to jump around, so I am jumping around. I just met a friend, a new friend. I have a new coloring friend from Manitoba, Canada. So I'm going to do Manitoba. And we can learn things about Canada and Manitoba, and it'll give me some time. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks before another one of these comes out, just because of everything I'm doing right now. But I hope after that I can get on sort of a regular schedule. I mean, my life is such that I just don't have time for a regular schedule. However, I will do my best to get it on a a certain timeline. That way you can expect them if you're interested in them. And we will get these books colored. Jen Racine, around the world with Jen Racine. So anyway, look forward to that. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you found this interesting. Give me comments, questions, and I guess I will see you in the next video. Bye.